Omitsu works night patrol in Shizuoka, night after night. His schedule is completely flipped. Sleeps during the day, stays awake when everyone else is asleep. His job is filled with endless little tasks. His body and nerves are wound tight like guitar strings. Finally, a day off arrives. He doesn't sleep in, doesn't scroll through his phone on the couch. He packs his gear and drives into the mountains. A remote mountain range he discovered by accident. He desperately needs a quiet camping trip to wash off that invisible layer of exhaustion. The forest is quiet, a little too quiet. Even the wind through the trees sounds apologetic. He walks on the leaf-covered ground. Crunch, crunch, like the forest is saying hello back. Then he stops. There's a patch of dirt on the ground, completely torn up. Dark soil exposed, broken plant roots scattered around. This is not natural. He crouches down and looks closer. His heart skips a beat. An animal did this. A wild boar, a big one. It had been digging here like crazy, probably looking for tasty tubers buried underground. A few steps further, he spots deer tracks too. Right now, everything is quiet. No animals in sight. But these signs are enough to send a chill down his spine. It's like walking into a crime scene, except the suspect has 4 legs and tusks. He looks around. Leaves rustle, wind blows, birds sing. But his brain is stuck on one thought. I hope that boar isn't hungry today. He stands up and brushes the dirt off his hands. Forget the wildlife for now. Setting up camp comes first. He walks to the car and pulls out his work gloves, puts them on carefully, tightens the Velcro straps at the wrists, makes sure they won't slip off when he's carrying heavy stuff, opens the trunk, and starts hauling out gear. First up, a Captain Stag metal shelf. This thing has been with him for ages, covered in scratches and dents. When he first bought it, it came with a nice plastic storage bag. After every trip, he'd take it apart piece by piece and neatly pack it away. But after dozens of camping trips, that routine got old. Way too much effort. So he ditched the bag. Now he just tosses the disassembled poles and metal plates into the trunk. This rough treatment has taken its toll. Some joints are bent. The whole thing is teetering on the edge of total collapse. This shelf isn't really camping gear anymore. It's a pile of metal that knows each other's names, barely holding on to its identity as a shelf. He carries the scattered parts to an open area and starts assembling. The poles are warped. Fitting them together is a workout. He grips both ends and twists, pulls, adjusts, trying to get them to the right length. One long pole is completely stuck. Won't straighten out no matter what. He pulls with his hands. Nothing. Time for plan B. He sits on the ground, clamps one end of the pole between his legs, grabs the other end with both hands, leans back with his whole body weight, face turning red. The pose looks like he's giving CPR to a metal pipe. After a massive tug, a dull thud echoes out. The pole finally extends, but when he attaches it to the frame, the whole thing is crooked. Uneven tension. It looks terrible. He sighs, takes apart everything he just wrestled with, starts over. This time it's even harder. Every piece is fighting him. He patiently spreads all the parts on the grass. 2 round locking balls, 2 green tension lines, 4 metal shelf plates. He clicks the plates onto the crossbars one by one, pulls the green lines tight to stabilize the whole thing. Sticks some anti-slip pads on the joints. After all that trouble, the shelf finally stands. He looks at this barely functioning contraption and wipes the sweat off his forehead. Long exhale. This is more exhausting than work. And at work, at least he doesn't have to wrestle with a metal pipe for 20 minutes. With the camp skeleton up, it's time for the main event of the evening. A solo night in the deep mountains calls for whiskey. If there's a day for drinking, whiskey takes center stage. That amber liquid isn't just for tasting. It's a lantern in the dark night. It lights up his tired soul. He wants the purest, most primal whiskey experience. And to pair with it perfectly, he decides to grill some meat. He turns to grab his favorite Tokyo camping brand grill. But when he dumps the parts out for assembly, something's wrong. This grill was already complicated to set up. Lots of interlocking metal rods. He fiddles with it for a while. No matter how he arranges them, one corner is missing. He searches the ground carefully. Disaster. The main support rod is gone, vanished, lost somewhere. He looks at this three-legged grill and can't bring himself to smile. That perfect 100% sense of control? Gone, down to 99%. Because of one missing rod. The whole thing wobbles dangerously. It's like finishing a huge Lego castle, only to realize the cat stole the bottom brick. He finds some rocks to prop up the missing corner, holds it together somehow. To shake off the unease, he brings out the big guns. A giant Coleman lantern. In the wilderness, safety comes first. He carefully lights it and hangs it beside the camp. Warm, bright light floods the grass. His sense of security slowly creeps back. He decides not to dwell on the broken gear. Time to reset his mood. The whiskey is still waiting. Everything is set. It's lunchtime, technically. But he's not hungry yet. Just a little snack to tide him over. He sits in his folding chair. A box of almond chocolates sits on the small table in front of him. He reaches for one. The moment he tears open the wrapper, rich chocolate aroma wafts out, right into his nostrils. That sweet smell is almost magical. It instantly melts away the frustration from wrestling with the tent and the grill. He pops the chocolate in his mouth. Crunchy nuts. Silky chocolate, he tells himself. High-calorie stuff. Just one for a quick fix, that's enough. But right as he's about to close the box, his hand moves on its own, reaches in again, accidentally pulls out another one. He looks at the extra chocolate in his hand, smiles bitterly, mutters, "Oops," then calmly unwraps it and eats it anyway. This is the true portrait of adult self-control. Just one lasts about 5 seconds. Then it becomes, well, I'm already here. Snack's done. Time to start the fire. He's a veteran. Wood catches quickly. The flames start small, but as he feeds in more wood, the fire grows. The grill's temperature stabilizes. Watching those dancing flames, he knows the moment he's been waiting for has finally arrived. He pulls out his phone, scrolls through the group chat. Everyone's sharing old camping memories. A smile creeps across his face. They're also discussing some new gear they haven't tried yet. Gets him excited for future trips. Night has fully fallen. The camp is bathed in warm yellow light, cozy. And honestly, with that soft lighting, the three-legged grill doesn't even look that pathetic anymore. Lighting is camping's best filter. He stands up to start cooking dinner. Tonight, he's not just throwing something together. A little luxury is in order. He pulls out a new peeler from his bag. Stylish design. Looked so cool in the store he couldn't resist. Grabs a carrot to peel. But the packaging on this new knife is insane. He tears at it with his bare hands for what feels like forever. Finally resorts to just ripping the plastic apart like a wild animal. He scrapes the knife across the carrot. Awkward. The pressure is all wrong. The peels come off thick. Half the carrot's flesh goes with them. He looks at the mutilated carrot on the cutting board. Even he has to laugh. This isn't peeling. This is a carrot amputation. But then he thinks about it. Carrots taste fine with the skin on anyway, no big deal. He chops it into chunks for the pot. While chopping, he fiddles with the camera. Misses the optimal angle. The footage only shows his hands moving around. Can't even tell what he's cutting. He gives the lens an apologetic smile. Translation: don't ask me what that is. Even I'm not sure. He wants hot soup tonight. On his last grocery run, he grabbed a bottle of clam chowder base. But when he's about to pour it into the pot, he reads the instructions carefully. This needs milk. He digs through his food bag. Confirms, no milk. He sighs. Water it is. This is like buying instant coffee and realizing you have no hot water, so you just chew the powder. He pulls out an old beat-up pot, covered in scratches, pours in water, sets it over the fire. Once it heats up, he adds the soup powder, grabs a spoon and stirs. The fire is roaring. He holds the spoon too close. A few stirs in, the flames lick up and scorch his hand. For a second, he swears he can smell his arm hair burning. He yanks his hand back. Sure, the mountain air is cool tonight, but standing next to this fire is like standing in an oven. This is the classic camping experience. Chest roasting, back freezing. To avoid more burns, he runs to grab his thick barbecue gloves. A little late, his hand is already red, but at least he can finish making the soup now. The soup bubbles away. Time for the main course. He pulls out the discounted salad peppers and flatbread from the supermarket, then carefully brings out the beef. The most expensive item from this shopping trip. Beautiful marbling. He wants that rich, smoky flavor. He lays the meat flat on the grill grate. High heat, fat drips onto the charcoal. Sizzle, white smoke rises. He sprinkles sesame seeds evenly over the surface, then adds a thick layer of honey. The heat instantly caramelizes it. The smell is incredible. Flipping a piece of meat this big on a flimsy grill is a real skill. He grabs the edge with his thick gloves and turns it by hand. Clumsy, like a caveman handling his freshly hunted dinner. All that's missing is a stick and a victory chant. After the long wait, the meat is finally done. The beef is scorching hot straight off the fire, but he can't wait. He cuts it into big chunks and shoves one in. First bite. His eyes close. This is incredible. Before grilling, he was looking at that thickness and thinking, man, is this going to be tough to chew? Like eating a bowl of hard rice? Turns out he was wrong. Perfect heat, tender meat, and that honey sweetness caramelized into the meat, surprising him with every bite. He's chewing meat and stirring soup at the same time. Completely relaxed, stuffed, and satisfied. He leans back in his chair, plucks a blade of grass from beside him, and sticks it in his mouth. The night air is getting cooler. Solo camping means no one to impress. He just sits there, soaking in the darkness, drifting. The whiskey makes him a little woozy, head fuzzy, but he's enjoying it. In this moment, there are no night patrols. No alarms, no boss messages. Just a piece of beef that made him close his eyes, and a glass of whiskey that made him forget his own name. Cut to a few days earlier. Omitsu went to Fujinomiya City in Shizuoka. There's an old sake brewery there, Fuji Takasago Shuzo. He got permission to visit ahead of time. The moment he steps through the door, a rich wave of sake aroma hits him. Rice and fermentation. Sweet and tangy. He's instantly excited. It's brewing day. The place is buzzing with busy, organized energy. He climbs an old wooden staircase to the second floor. At the landing, there's a special statue, a Buddhist bodhisattva, sitting inside a giant sake bottle-shaped container. The guide tells him the story. This statue protected a local temple through turbulent times. Later, the temple fell into ruin. The statue was left alone in the wreckage. People wanted to protect it, so they moved it here, to this brewery at the foot of Mount Fuji. To this day, the brewery keeps it here and honors it every day. Omitsu stands before the statue, quietly watching. He looks at this weathered Buddha carrying centuries of history. Something stirs in him. Not quite awe, not quite curiosity, more like a strange sense of connection. Even Buddha had to move. And after moving, he ended up in a sake bottle. I guess that's just fate. After the brewery tour, it's time for the tasting. The part he's been waiting for. A special whiskey. Not just him drinking alone. The brewer and the staff from Narrative are there too. This is their collaborative creation. They stand together tasting it. Omitsu takes a sip. His eyes light up. This is good. Rich. Layered. The staff tell him the flavor wasn't just decided by the brewmaster. They held a vote, collected everyone's opinions. That's how they made it. In other words, this whiskey was made by democracy, the taste of collective decision-making. After that sip, Omitsu feels reassured. The release date is set for Friday, November 15th. They've even set up a website for orders. Nice packaging too. The original design showed a black box. The final version is green. Looks even better. Something that looks better in person than on paper. That happens about as often as a wild boar passing on a potato. Before leaving, he buys 2 cups of limited edition sake. They only sell it here. He has the staff pack it up quickly. Walking out of the brewery with his loot, he feels like he just got a year-end bonus. Back at camp, the night is deep. He sits in his chair and reflects on the day. The solitude of the mountains, the frustration with the grill, the chocolate that betrayed his self-control, the singed hand, the democratic whiskey. He realizes life is kind of like this. Hidden inside all the exhaustion and chaos, there's a little sweetness waiting. He smiles at the camera, says goodnight quietly. Then he blows out the lantern and sinks into the darkness. Now, if you've read this far, congratulations. You just followed a night patrol officer up a mountain, assembled a collapsing shelf, fixed a 3-legged grill, used a cool-looking knife to murder a carrot, made soup without milk, grilled a piece of beef that made him close his eyes, and drank whiskey that was literally voted into existence by a committee, all without breaking a sweat. If you enjoyed this mountain adventure, Omitsu would be truly grateful. And a little confused. How does anyone have the patience to watch a man wrestle with a metal pipe for 20 minutes? Hit that like button if you want more of his disasters. Subscribe if you want to see him actually bring all the right parts next time. Ring the bell if you want to be the first to know when he loses something crucial again. He can't promise intact gear. He can't promise soup with milk, but he promises good food. And at least one, what am I doing with my life moment? And honestly, that's what camping is all about. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hopefully he remembers the support rod, and the milk, and that stupid storage bag.